Hi guys, how's it going? I'm Lorraine and welcome to my channel. Now just before I dive in there and pull your cards for today, I'd just like to say I am an experienced and professional holistic and spiritual counselor and mentor, and I offer 100% money back guarantee for image readings, tarot readings, also the programs, as well as spiritual and holistic counselling, mentorship, plus advice to help you with union with self and union with your person. Just check out the details in the description box below this video for more information. So let's dive in there and let's see what messages the cards have for you, for both you and your person's love journey thus far. And let's see what messages the cards have for you about your person, right? Of course. Okay, so let's go. Let's do this. Okay, guys. All right, so let's go. We're going to go into the now. All right, so you're coming in with the Magician card. Magician is Virgo. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and this particular part of Mercury rules your 6th house of health and well-being here, and also work here. Okay. And so when you're coming in with the Magician card, I always see it as self-mastery here, guys. You may have another way in which I see it is you may have social media here. This is both you and your person, and you use it to promote here yourself, your business, a business owner, the Magician card here. Here, of course, it can talk about bringing things into your reality here in a sense, but in all essence here, guys, of the word here in your reading, it really does come down to what it is that you have decided to create for yourself, what it is your person has decided to create for them at this point in time. Now, what I do get here in terms of Virgo here, guys, you are coming in with, you have Mars in Virgo, and you also have the South Node. Now, in terms of Mars, you are coming in with yourself here in your reading. It's actually coming in as be the person you truly are here. That's how I'm seeing it at this point in time here. Now, it can mean one or two things here. Because it really comes down to what is it that you're putting out into the universe here. What is it that you're building? What is it that you're investing in here, guys, for it to come in as the return here, the Magician card? Because there is a return when I do see the Magician card here. All right, guys. Now, what it also talks about here in terms of Virgo, it's talking about here in your reading there is a past that needs to be let go of here. And what it can talk about there in your reading, this is both you and your person, the past cannot be rehashed in a sense here. there is another way in which both you and your person can build. That's what it's also talking about here. It's really about looking beyond what's in front of your eyeballs at this point in time here. It's like thinking outside of the box here, because the box is actually limiting you or may even confine you at this point in time, both you and your person, to follow a certain program. When you're coming in with the Magician card, it's almost like, oh, it's got to be done this way. And I'm not saying that it shouldn't be done that way, but what it talks about there in your reading is that it needs to change. You need to change it up. There needs to be some kind of level up happening here, because have changes happened? That's what the Magician card can be talking about. I do get here is that both you and your person are very sociable. You are coming in with that. You're easy to get along with here. Here in your reading, easy to get along with. I also get here is that now, see, like I said, it's one or two things. Or what it can be talking about here is now is the time. That's what I'm getting with the Magician card. Now is the time to take things seriously, to be serious about what it is that you're putting your time and attention into. This is not a side hobby. This isn't a part-time job. Whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're creating, that's what I'm getting here, guys. See, it's either one of those two things here. Either way, you're recognized. It does come in that way because you are coming in with Mercury here. All right, guys. Here in your reading. See, not only does it rule Virgo, Mercury, it also rules Gemini here. So not only are you recognized here, guys, you are also quite a sociable person. Here I get you're making networks here. You have networks. That's what it's also talking about here, coming in with the Magician card. But what it talks about there in your reading, it's not that you need to make new networks here, guys. It comes in as how can you change it. That's what I'm really getting here at this point in time. But like I said before, in terms of Virgo, you're coming in with your health and your well-being here. And what I do get there, guys, is it's coming in as, well, once again, you need to be ready, physically ready here for strength. That element is also coming into your reading, what I'm picking up here. But it's also about doing the things that you are passionate about here. So what else are you passionate about? This is both you and your person. That's what it's also talking about here. It's like revisiting an old idea that you put on the back burner here and actually investing in it now here, because maybe that passion and project that you put on the back burner, you may not have had the know-how, but over time, what it's talking about here, guys, is that you have the know-how now. You know how to do it, in a sense here. But yes, of course, it needs to be done correct here, because you have temperance. And once again, it's talking about here in your reading, what you put out is what you get back in. whether it's positive or negative here. Now, Temperance is Saggy, and Saggy is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter rules your 9th house here, of a higher level of learning here in your reading. And see, what both cards can suggest here, guys, is that there is still more to learn here. Mastery cannot be rushed. Mastery cannot be rushed here. Yeah, it may seem like it's taking a long time, but there is still more to learn. That's how I'm picking up these two cards here, guys. All right, and this has got to do with both you and your person here. And in a way here, guys, what I also pick up here, coming in with the Magician card here, guys, is putting in the work and fully investing here. That's what it's talking about. All right, so let's go. Let's do this. Because I do seem to think here in your reading, with both those cards coming out here, guys, is that there is more than one way in which you can achieve your desired result and outcome. That's what I'm getting here. All right, guys, so let's keep going, and let's move on to obstacles and challenges. That was the Tower. Let's have a look. Obstacles and challenges. Oh my gosh. Okay. Thank you. Oh wow. Okay. All right, so you were coming in with Lovers here. So once again, you're coming in with Gemini. All right, guys. And Gemini rules your 3rd house of communication here. You have the Empress. And the Empress is Taurus, and it is also Libra here, okay? And Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus rules your 2nd and your 7th house here. And you also have the 3 of Swords here in your reading. Okay, let's have a look at this. Obstacles and challenges. Well, what your reading could be talking about here, it comes in as the obstacle and challenge could very well be you and your person here. You're a challenge to your person here, and they're a challenge. But let me just keep going here. Because when you're coming in with Lovers, I do get here, this is about relationships, most definitely. And I spoke about that with the Magician card here, guys, about, because quite sociable here when you're coming in with the Lovers card in terms of relationships here, guys, in terms of networks here in your reading. It does have an element of here, it's like mastery cannot be rushed. That's what I'm getting here, guys. It may seem like it's taking a long time, but there is still more to learn here in your reading. Because when you're coming in with Gemini here, and like I said, and I spoke about Mercury here, and yes, of course, it comes in as Lovers, but what it also talks about here is knowledge and information. I do see Gemini is about the mind here. And the third house can almost be seen as a start point in terms of knowledge and information, because it's really about, here guys, your upbringing. Here. Now, there is an element, all right guys, there is an element here, what I'm also picking up here in terms of the Lover's card, is that there is a want for effective, it's like, how do I effective communication here. Now this can be both you and your person here in terms of this effective communication, coming in with the Lover's card. Yes, of course, you could see this as your person, you could see this as Gemini here, guys, here in your reading. But what it also talks about here, all right, guys, when you are coming in with Mercury, okay, and Gemini here, I'm going to break that down for you. It can come in as, like I said, what do you know about relationships here, okay? And it's like following patterns or patterns and habits here, guys, following traditional patterns and habits here. This is how it's coming in. And so it's not so much the knowledge and understanding that you have, is not so much from experience or practical experience here, guys. It's actually from a book here. It's from a program here, guys. That's what I'm also picking up. And so you've done the program, you've done the book, you've done it to a T, the outdated belief system here. You've learnt it, yet why hasn't it come in yet? Why hasn't my person come towards me? This could very well be both you and your person. Why haven't they chosen me? There is an element of that here in your reading. Now, in terms of the Three of Swords, I do seem to think the Three of Swords is both you and your person, once again, here. Because when you're coming in with the Lover's card and the Empress card, you are able to see that the choice, why they have made the choice here, why they have chosen you in a sense here in your reading. Now, coming in with the Empress card, what it can talk about there in your reading is that you're well established here. And I did speak about here social talkative. You're quite talkative here. You know how to communicate, you interact, you have networks, social networks, especially if you're coming in this way. You have quite I want to say, beautiful person here, and here in your reading. See, now coming in with the Empress card, what it can also talk about there in your reading is that you have choices here. And your person here, or others here in your reading, are choosing you. That's what it's also talking about here in your reading, okay? In terms of obstacles and challenges, there is that feeling here, guys, of wanting to be the choice. Yes, of course, here, coming in with the Empress. But I do get, here in your reading, this is how your person sees you. Now, you were coming in with the Three of Swords here. What it can talk about there, guys, is what's happened in the past and finding it a struggle to It could be to let go and release the past here. Heartbreak and loss here, guys, which is a real feeling and emotion here. And it also affects the way in which you think here, guys, and your thoughts and even your actions here. Yet there are only 3 swords, but the depth that one can get from feeling the 3 of Swords and thinking about the 3 of Swords and taking a certain action when it comes to the 3 of Swords is tremendous here, guys. And yes, it can almost come in as I'm not quite ready. I do get that element here in your reading. Yet wanting to be ready, coming in with the Magician card and Temperance. See, what Temperance can also be talking about here in your reading is that there is, like I said, there's still more to work on here, guys. So book an image reading with me, as I'm not just a tarot reader. Check out the details in the description box below as to the difference between both an image reading and a tarot reading. Now, what the image reading will be able to do for the both of us here, I would be able to help you to recognize here how deep the layers are when it comes to heartbreak and loss here, guys, and how you can remove them and release those negative attachments here. Because you may be thinking to yourself, I've already dealt with that. I've already let that go and I don't want to go back through that. All right, guys, and I'm not saying that we are going to go back through it. But if you're still feeling this way, then obviously there are other issues that you still have suppressed. Now, this is coming in as both you and your person here. So let's go into the potential outcome. Okay, so you were coming in with the 2 of Swords. You have the Knight of Pentacles and you also have the Knight of Swords here, guys. There is a return happening here, guys, from what I can see. It's a slow return here with the Knight of Swords here in your reading, because here it is. It's about, you know, both you and your person, whatever happened in the past, you're both still holding on to it here. And so, you know, like I said, obviously here, what may be happening at this time for both you and your person, it can come in as blame, it can come in as judging your person here, and which is why the image reading here can help you to not judge and blame your person here, but to actually look at your core. It's like core foundation, the root cause of the 3 of Swords here. And of course you may say, no, it's my person, but in actual fact here, you know, what your cards are saying is that you were both going through the 3 of Swords here. Heartbreak and loss here in your reading. And coming in with this Knight of Swords here, guys, this person, it's like they want to fix it, but they don't know how. That's what I'm getting with the Knights of Swords. However, they are looking for support and guidance. They are looking for advice. This is something else that's coming in here, because like I said, that blame and that judgment in terms of your person, they don't feel they are entirely to blame here. And I'm not saying anything more than that here, guys. This is just how your cards are coming in. And because they feel that way, it's taking longer for this person to come in. Now, in terms of the Magician and the Temperance card here, it comes in here, guys, is what you're putting out. The Three of Swords, your person, Three of Swords, you, the Three of Swords here, is exactly what may come back towards you. So most definitely here, coming in with the South Node, I do get here in your reading, there needs to be a change in the way in which you feel here. So let's come in with some advice. Now you were coming in with victory here in your reading. The Six of Wands can come in, yeah, victory. But what is victory here, guys? Victory in a situation, and what does that mean? What does that really mean? And what does that really look like here? Okay, now what it can be talking about here, guys, is confidence. Here in your reading, gaining your confidence, your self-worth here. That can also be seen as victory, one's victory here in your reading. In order to gain victory, but I do get here, it's self-worth. That's what I'm also picking up here with the Six of Wands here in your reading. With this Knight of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, and you do have the Two of Swords here, it's actually coming in as here in your reading. Yeah, like I said, it's not entirely my fault here. There is, I don't want to be blamed for anything here. That's kind of how the Two of Swords is coming in, because that is actually your person here. Because it's almost like with the Two of Swords, I don't want to hear it. It's like I don't want to hear what I've done here. I know it can come in as, yeah, I'm hurting. Yes, and I may have hurt you. I have hurt you. Okay, but I don't want to be constantly reminded of what it is that I have done. It's like, how can we let that go, release that negative tension here, guys? It could also come in as thoughts and emotions. How can we release that here? And finally, it's like move on, in a sense, with our life. That's what I'm also picking up here in your reading. This is a very difficult situation that both you and your person are dealing with, because you're actually dealing with it here. That's what I'm getting. Alright, I am going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your reading, guys, and I'll catch you later. Bye.